Well, I hope you can hear me. The roaring you hear off to the left, my left, is the South Fork of Citico Creek. And I'm hiking the South Fork of Citico Creek Trail up, I don't know, a mile and a half, 2 miles to a camp. And then I may day hike a little on just Citico Creek Road, and starting up the South Fork Trail of Citico Creek, 105. The blue is my hiking route, the red day hiking, starting at the Warden Station trailhead at the top and going up Citico Creek. Just after I started and down below the trail, there is Citico Creek, and the gravel area over there is the Warden Station, which was recently closed by the Forest Service, probably temporarily, but basically people have made such a mess of it that they felt they needed to close it for a while, and I agree. Here's a good view of Citico Creek from the trail. Big bend around the Warden Station area. Well, here's the famous Robert Frost fork in the road. To the left is the North Fork. Goes down, crosses the bridge down there. You can almost see it. Goes up the North Fork, and to the right is the South Fork, which I'm taking today. I've done both of them a lot. And unlike the poem, both are heavily used and popular and pretty. Here's a side trail called the Brush Mountain Trail, which goes up I Can't Branch. It's got to be one of the hardest trails in this area anyway. You got to cross that incredibly difficult right now anyway, for water levels, Citico Creek, and then you climb very, very steeply up Brush Mountain, up that way. I've only done it once. It's a great day. It's the first 2 days of great weather that I've been available on anyway since last November. Almost 70 today and tomorrow, and over 50 tonight. That's, for me, just about perfect backpacking. But instead, we've had a really gloomy winter with cold in January and February, rain, cloudy the whole time. So it has not been a good time, for me anyway, to go backpacking. Well, after about 1.5 miles of hiking, I came upon this campsite. It's not really, it looks pretty good, and I think I'm going to stay here, particularly since it's got a really flat, kind of secluded spot right there for my tent. Perfectly flat, and of course you got the Citico Creek over there. So, pretty good place. I think I'll stay here. By 4:15 or so, I've got the tent up there, and got a little fire ready to go in the fire ring that somebody left, and got my food in my bear barrel there, and got water, gravity feed, water purification going there. And now I'm going to head on up the trail at least to where you have to cross the creek, which is, I don't think, very crossable with the water levels right now. Well, this is the end of the trail for me for today. The South Fork Trail fords right there, and you can probably see it's pretty deep, and I'm not going to cross it by myself, or maybe with a rope or something. There is a trail, a bypass trail that goes up steeply also, and I'm too tired to go up it right there for, I don't know, a third of a mile, and comes back in up a ways. So anyway, there's this crossing and 3 more crossings to get to the Grassy Branch Trail, which I'd like to have gotten to, but definitely not today. Water's not only deep and swift, and probably the bottom is pretty slick there too. So not a great place to cross at all. At this water level, maybe at a lower water level in the fall, might be okay. So back to camp. Well, it's almost 6:30 and the sun is going to be setting at that time, but it's actually overcast, so it doesn't make much difference. And it's getting colder. I've got the toboggan on and a down jacket, and my dinner is hydrating, so I'll be eating that shortly, and we'll be in the tent by probably 7 o'clock. So that's the negative about camping in the winter. The darkness comes on much sooner, and you spend more time in the tents. But still, I haven't been out here since November sometime, and so I'm really enjoying being out in the wilderness, and particularly one of my favorites. Well, tonight my dinner is good to go meal, a classic marinara with pasta, and some tea and bouillon, and some candy bars, small candy bars. And as a backup, I've got some ramen noodles. Don't think I'll need it though. Fire is kind of getting started. Everything's wet from all the rain we've had. Well, that was certainly a long night in the tent. I got in the tent last night around 7 o'clock p.m. and turned the lights out around 8. And daylight was around 7 or so this morning. And it's 7:30 right now, and I'm just about packed up in the tent, ready to get out. So over 12 hours in the tent. That's way too long. I couldn't sleep that long, obviously. I read some, but still, it's a long, long time. And I'm looking forward to daylight savings time and shorter days. Well, this campsite has one of the best water sources. Really easy to get water just below that falls, and there's a nice pool out there. Summertime, be a good place to go swimming, of course. Nice morning. It's already around 60 degrees, maybe low 50s last night, I guess. And cooking breakfast, the usual oatmeal there on the bottom, hot chocolate, and I'm going to try, and of course a Nutri-Grain bar, something called Alt Route Meals. It's a new company in Knoxville. Southern biscuits and gravy. So that's a sampler packet. I'm just going to try it. Beautiful day. A lot of blue sky up there, and the sun's coming up. It'll be a while before it gets down here. And all I got to do is hike out. Leaving camp around 9, and this is one perfect campsite. Only negative at all. Can't think of any negatives except no pizza delivery. I think Bryant DeLay calls this Maple Spring campsite because there's at least one huge maple tree, I think, there. And there's a spring right here. A little stream starting there, and unfortunately going right down the trail. And for a ways, the trail is this creek. This is my first backpack since I turned 80 last late November. And I'm obviously not as fast, can't hike as far, get a lot tighter and so forth, but I still made it, and hope to keep it up for a while. Perfect week, I started to say weekend, but I'm retired, so weekends aren't as important anymore. Perfect couple of days, and the day's even better. It's all blue sky up there, it looks like. On one of my favorite areas, Citico Creek. We got this designated as wilderness in 1984, I think it was. And along with a bunch of other areas, and then some more in 86, and some more in 2000, and I think it was 18. So anyway, we've got some great areas here, and I hope to keep enjoying them for a while. The woods are not really as beautiful in the winter as spring, summer, and fall. A little drab, although a lot of green rhododendron right here. On the other hand, the creeks, Citico Creek just down there, are certainly as beautiful, and with lots of water, sometimes even more beautiful. So it balances out, but personally, certainly prefer hiking spring, summer, and fall when there's warmer temperatures and particularly more daylight, and prettier with woods and trees and flowers and leaves and all that. This was an old railroad here. As you can see back there, it's very gradual, incline, and very easy walking. Used to log the Citico Creek area, probably in the 20s or so, I guess. Here's where Citico Creek gets a lot bigger. That's Citico Creek coming down from the right. Old railroad bridge here. And that's Citico Creek there, where I camped on. And right down there is the junction of Citico Creek and the North Fork of Citico Creek, which comes down from up there. And of course, after joining there, it continues on down to Little T River and Tellico Lake. That's a really substantial piling there. They built this bridge to last. South Fork of Citico Creek. At the junction of North Fork and South Fork trails, and where the railroad once split two, there's this old concrete blockhouse, which is where they kept their dynamite that was used a lot to build the railroad and such. Well, I'm just about out. 10:30. There's my car.